Hi everyone, today we're going to have a look at transformations. Now there's four types, but the first one we're going to look at today, and the only one we're going to look at today, is called translations. And it's probably the easiest one to look at. So let's get started. So it's important to understand what the word translation means. So we often come across the word in translation in languages where you change it into a language you may understand, or you change it into a language that you're learning. So really in maths we're just changing where it is. So we're not flipping it, we're not rotating it, we're not making it bigger, we're just literally changing where it is. So you can see here's a nice definition at the start. It's a sliding or moving of a shape without rotating or flipping it or making it bigger. I should have added that. The shape will look exactly the same, just be in a different place. So the black ones are the originals. So you can see this black square and there's a red square. That red square is exactly the same size. You could argue really that it has been rotated or flipped because it's a square, it's hard to tell. But what I want you to appreciate is it has moved. Okay, it's moved from here. It's moved in the right direction and then up. Okay, and we can count the squares to see how many it moves right. So that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 right and 1 up. So we could describe this journey as, oh, I've moved it 6 right and 1 up. This is a trapezium. And this trapezium hasn't gone up and down this time. It's just moved across in this right direction. Now, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it's just moved 7 right. So moving left and right, it's all well and good explaining it like that, but we tried to make it a bit more mathematical and we started to use vectors. Now, in a vector, we write it like this. We have an x and a y part. And the x part tells us if you think of your graph and your axes, something like this, x is always a cross. Well, and x is a cross, so that works well. So x is a cross, and a cross means left or right. So this is either moving left or right. Now the y-axis is showing us values that go up or down. Up or down. So if we want to describe, say for example, let's move 3 right and 2 up, we can write that as a vector. We can say 3 in the x direction. And if you think about moving right from the center, we're going into positive numbers, so our 3 is positive. And going from the center to go up 2, we'd end up in positive numbers as well. So we use a 2 to go up. So if I wanted to go 4 left and say 5 down, to go left without writing the words left, we went for minus numbers, because when we go left from the center of an axis, we go into negative numbers. And if we go down 5, we get to negative numbers as well. So to go left or right or up or down, we just change the sign. But the top value is x and right, the horizontal distance across. And the bottom value is up or down. Let's have a look at some questions. So this basically means, in English words, move this shape 3 left or slide it 3 left. So you take a good point or an easy point, you go 1, 2, 3. Now you can do that for every single one like I'm doing here. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, okay. And you will draw in the shape. Let's see if I can do that nicely. There we go. Now the next one, it's asking us to move it 4 up. So it's none left and right and just 4 up. So remember, the bottom is up and down, the top is left and right. So what I was going to show you before is you could just do 1 point, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we've mapped this point up to here. And you just have to think, what was happening originally? It was going 2 down, so you can just go 2 down, and then it was going 3 across. I would try and avoid the angled lines if possible. If there's ever horizontal and vertical lines, always do those ones. So I'm going to be a bit rubbish now and just draw them in freehand, but you're not allowed to do that. Okay, so what does this one mean? Well, 2 in the left and right, it's a positive, so it means 2 right. and we've got 0 in the up or down, so it's not actually going anywhere up or down. So let's take this point and go 1, 2. So from here it went left 2, so it's still going to go left 2. Then it goes down 1. Then it goes, well, basically it looks like this. I'm pretty sure you can see that. Okay, so I've translated all of those black shapes to my purple ones. But that was easy. Let's have a look at some harder ones. Okay, so we've now got rid of the zeros. So in the X direction, it's 1 right, and that 2 is in the Y direction, and it's positive, so that means we're going 2 up. Why do they have to put it in the middle of squares? So let's go 1 right and 2 up. So that point is going to there. So if you're unsure, you can do this to every single point. So I'm going to go from here, I'm going to go 1 down, it goes 2 across, and that does the same, and then it goes a half up and half down. So then you can see it goes along 2 and up 1, so along 2 and up 1. So always don't go across squares ever, always go across and up. So to get from this point to this point, I went 2 left and 1 up, so I did exactly the same thing. Okay, so the next one in the X and Y, so the X direction, we've got 4, which means 4 right, because it's a positive number. If it was -4, it would mean 4 left. We've got -3 in the Y, that means 3 down. Now this one's definitely harder because you've got no horizontal and vertical lines. So let's just take this point and go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. So it's taken us right down here. So where does it go from here? It goes along 1 and up 1.5. So let's go along 1, up 1.5. Also it goes left 1 and up 1.5. So let's do the same. And it also goes up 3 from the center, so 1, 2, 3. And we can draw that in using a ruler, please. And there we have it. The last one. So this is the one I will leave to last. So I'm going to take this point here, and we're going to go 2 right and 1 down. I think you've probably got the gist of it, what this means now. So 2 right, 1 down. So then it goes up 2. You just basically move that whole shape like so. So they're either going to ask you to draw the new image, or they're going to ask you some questions. So let's have a look at some of these. So describe the translation which maps. So let's just go A to B. Okay, first of all. So you can see here we have to move up. Now what the danger is a lot of people say, it's gone 2 up because they've reached the next shape, but you've got to map this point. Okay, so this point is actually going 1, 2, 3, 4 up. So 4 up, that's it. So we're not going anywhere in the left and right, but we're going 4 up. The whole shape has to fit inside that new shape. So let's go A to F. I'll do 3 of these. So because I started at that point, I'm going to stay on that point. So let's count the squares. Or you can just use the numbers actually, it might be easier. So that's 5 and that's 4, so it's gone 9 left. So that's going to be -9, so that's 9 left. And we can see it's dropped down 1 to get to this new point here. So 1 down means -1. If I wanted to go F to A, it'd still be 9 and 1, but it'd be positive in both of them. Okay, let's go A to C. This is the last one. So we're going from this point to this point. So we can see it's gone 5 and then another 1 left. So it's gone 6 left. So I'm going to write a -6 there. And it's gone up 1, 2, 3. So it's gone 3 up. So it's going to be a +3. That's it. So it's pretty easy. It's just counting squares if you think about it. But you just have to understand how to go left, how to go right, how to go up, how to go down, and when to put positives and negatives. Okay, so vector notation is what we'll be expecting you to write, not words like up and down, left and right. Okay, use vector notation. Best of luck. Bye.